every now and then, throughout my years of being an otaku, there's always been an anime or a manga where it has two parts, or even three, where you have the first part and you have the second part, and between those times they switch protagonists. And most of the times it doesn't work out. The second protagonist that's new, the new focal point of the story, just feels off. It doesn't feel right. And because of that, some people fall off of it. Sometimes it actually works, but most of the time only because the first part sucks, really sucks. Such cases as Killing Bites, where the first part really sucks and it just makes no sense. It feels rushed, it feels unprofessional. But then you go to the second part where the new protagonist, instead of as a honey badger, it's a beagle girl, and she seems to be more of a likable main character. And the story around her seems to be more interesting than the one from the beginning and stuff. She is the focal point, and because of that, the story gets interesting, and more people are now invested within that story, thanks to this new main character. Sometimes this doesn't work out. For instance, Tokyo ESP. I believe I did a must watch on them earlier before. The first main character is amazing. Everyone loves her. People love the situation. The story is still good. But then the second part comes out. The second part comes out with a new main protagonist, and no one didn't really like her. They still like the story. In fact, it was so bad that they kind of feel like the author quickly switched main characters again. The second new protagonist is still there, but she's no longer the focal point much as she used to be in the beginning of the second part, because how bad she was, in my opinion. It's not that she was a bad character, it's that she didn't meet the expectations of the others, and I think that was the point, but it just wasn't properly executed. So because of that, a lot of people didn't seem to care much for her. Everyone wanted Rika back, because Rika was the cool girl, the one who didn't care about being a hero, but just wanted to do the right thing, but ended up being a hero anyways. Or just one kind of wanted to be a hero to get close to some guy in the end and stuff, and it was just ridiculous. But anyways, this is my summary when it comes to Sengoku Youko Part 2. This part is what really pulled readers into the story, making it one of their favorite Satoshi's work because of the second part, in a way. A lot of people see the first part, which in a way it is just a prequel to the main story. Everyone believes that this is the true main story of everything that happens. Because this story right here has more of a focus than the story before. The story before he followed Tema and the others, and she wanted to make peace between Katawara and humans and stuff. But they ended up causing some trouble, got caught by the monks, and then one of them became a beast, a thousand-tailed beast, and the other one's going out looking for her. So in this event, things didn't end so well on the first part. Everything was a disaster. So now we don't know how much time has passed, but one of the antagonists from the first part of the show is now the main protagonist of part 2. And his name is Senya. Senya is a kid with no memory of who he is or what he used to be. All he knows is his name. And there he, for some reason, is living with Shinsuke and another Katawara, in a village where Katawara and humans actually coexist. So in a way, Tema's dream is slowly becoming a reality. You can think about it. In the beginning, in the first part, Tema's goal was to have a world where Katawara and humans could coexist and live in peace and stuff. And you never saw that anywhere. However, you saw it in this village. And Xenia is here. Why is he here? Last time we checked, Xenia was locked inside of a rock by the mountain god from part 1. So how did he get out? Why are they here? Why aren't they going looking for their friends? Well, Shinsuke anyways. But it seems like he seems to be less raged from before. The last time we were watching this series, Shinsuke was a very enraged dude. After what happened to one of their companions, he kind of had this darkness about him and stuff. Even after defeating the person who caused him his grief, he still had that grumpiness about him. But now it seems to be gone. Now he's just a drunkard who's spending his days drunk with his Katawara friend. But now Senia's awake, and the thing he wants to do is Senia to go out and play. And then I really enjoy this, Senia slowly picking up. It's like a game simulation in a way, where you get up from the thing, the NPC tells you to go outside and play, so you're in a tutorial mode, you go around talking to people, going through the forest, you meet the girl, her name is Tsukiko. Yeah, Tsukiko. Apparently, she's one of the kids, she is the better fighter of all the kids. And y'all seem to have a liking for each other. And however, there's still bad Katawara, as you can see. Like I said, living back then in old time Japan, or pretty much old time anywhere, you could get away with a lot of crime back then, when you really think about it. Because you can live in the middle of a village out of nowhere. No cameras, no patrols, no policing, no proper weaponry. You're just a farmer who waits on trade, and you create your own crops and animals. A group of bands can come out of nowhere, just destroy the entire village and get away with it. They'd be wearing masks, doing things, playing strategies, doing what they want. And it'll probably take days, or probably even weeks, until the main capital hears anything about it, let alone they care anything about it. Oh, well, I guess we can take this land for ourselves now, since they're gone, take the land, repopulate it with our people. Recreate the crops and people at the time, roasts and guards. You might be thought of, not even an afterthought to these people. It was very dangerous times back then, It really was every man for himself back then. Even when you're living together in a group village, you'll never know when you'll be overtaken by some bandits and stuff. Bad times. But anyways, and now make things worse. You're living in this place where monsters can literally take you out of your house because you're so heavily asleep, and just take your children, or let alone you, and you can't fight back, and they're planning to eat you, man. Imagine that, man. You're just silently asleep, man, after a hard day's work, tired. Then, you feel a little tumble and stuff, you feel a little tired, you can't move your body. You wake up, and then you see this monster just with these big hands just carrying you away and stuff, talking about how they can't wait to eat you and everything. Little do they know, though, Senya he's a special boy. Remember, he has 1,000 Katawara inside of him. He was created an experiment to be the ultimate Katawara, the king of Katawaras, in a way. He doesn't realize this anymore, though. And he ended up defending the village, because Lord knows Shinsuke wasn't going to do it. Even when he came to the rescue, he was too drunk to really do anything for a good while. Man, this dude's washed up. But Senya ends up protecting the village from the monsters, and they ran away. Now they see him as a hero. Even Sugiko's dad gave him the approval. Everything's going well until he sees a mysterious figure just waving at him, kind, but yet mysterious, like, not menacing, like, just mysterious. And so then later that next day, the figure shows up again, but this time it's out of his mind. It's saying random gibberish. It's killing not just humans, but Katawara as well. It doesn't know what it's doing. And Senya shows up to stop the monster, but however, he himself loses control. Not lose control, but more like a fatal accident happens. He got pushed so hard, he's trying to stop his fallback any way he can. He ends up killing Tsukiko's father. Accidentally, but regardless, it was by him. And for a village that accepts him for being a monster himself, to see that happen to someone he kind of seemed to have slowly grew feelings for, taking away someone precious from her, while being conscious, by the way, is a terrible feeling. This dude is shrouded in guilt and stuff. He probably hates himself. Really does. And it really will affect him throughout the story, despite how many friends and allies he makes. In the back of his mind, he's going to think, I still took away the life of someone special that cared about their father. They took it away. So he's going to be upset about this for a long time. Stuff like this don't go away, especially if you yourself are a kind and good person. Taking the life of someone else who didn't deserve it, even if it's on accident, is not good. So he leaves the village expecting to be hated, but instead, they don't blame him for it. And it looks like Sugiko herself don't blame him for it. In fact, it seems like she wants to join them on the road. Because Shinsuke decided, Senya activated his powers. He needs to find some answers and continue on with his journey. So yeah, this is part 2 of Sengoku Youko, the thousand demon arc. It's a really good one. It's amazing. You have some old enemies and allies, and new enemy and allies. A lot of good stuff. I am looking forward to it very much. Like I said before, this arc is what put a lot of people really invested into the story. It's like they really do like Senya better as a main protagonist than the other guy from before. I can see why. Well, that's all I got for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This has been Madcrownxox on anime. Signing out.